Welcome back to YCS Sydney 2019. This is us going into round 9. We have two more rounds. Wait, so this round and the next round, and then we'll be cutting to Top Cut. The last few rounds of Swiss, people are really nervous. They're really trying to squeeze into Top Cut. Some people are locked in already. I believe Jesse and Jonah are both locked in.
Yep. And I think they may even be versing each other this round.
Yep.
But that we'll see with that result not really mattering.
Yep.
That's fine. But this next match we have for round 9, I'm really excited for this
Yeah.
because I've been hearing about this guy's deck all weekend.
Yeah,
And
everyone's
now we
like,
finally get him on stream.
yeah, they're like feature him. He's doing well. I'm like, yeah, if he like makes it a bit further, we'll take it. On the left we have Liam Andrews playing Dynamist, and on the right we have Weisi Chen playing Altergeist.
Yeah. Well,
Uh,
as I just said, yes, it is Dynamist. That wasn't the incorrect words there. That is exactly what he is playing, and we've been getting told about it all weekend. So first we'll go through the Dynamist deck because Leo is actually playing. Is it Weisi or Leo?
Leo.
He goes by Leo.
He goes by Leo.
Yeah, so of course. So I know the name is different on screen, but he goes by Leo.
He's
He's playing Altergeist.
Yep. He's familiar to the feature match table, to the top cut table. He did top the Performer Pal YCS. Yep. And yeah, so with Liam, he's playing 3 of most Dynamists and 2 of the lesser played ones. He's playing Hand Traps, Ghost Ogre, he's got Ash Blossom, he's playing Ignite Reload to be able to get rid of excess Pendulum cards to be able to try and draw into those hand traps. Playing Pot of Desires to also try and draw those cards. He's got Infinite Impermanence and the Dynamist Howling. I think he's built his deck to beat what he thinks is the matchups he'll be playing today.
Yeah, and with Leo's Altergeist deck, it's quite standard. Most of all the Altergeist monsters played at the same ratio. It's like 3 Vega, 2 Secloidus, 3 Marionetta, 3 Milliseek, the Conqueri, and 3 copies of Ash Blossom as well, which we see in most decks. 3 Secret Village, so he's playing the Village stuff with, I believe he's playing Metaverse. He's playing 1 Metaverse and 3 Village, a different ratio than what we've seen, but it's still there. 3 Personal Spoofing, all the normal stuff, Solemn Brigade, Imperial Order, Heavy Storm Duster in the main, which will be very interesting, but 3 copies of Lost Wind. Very different. We saw that in a Paleozoic deck yesterday. We haven't seen much in an Altergeist deck. So that's an interesting card. It could come after this one. Unfortunately for Liam, he went first and only be able to set 1 monster instead of face down. So I'm not sure if that's how his Dynamist deck works normally, but we shall see.
I think he's drawn a set of scales which are all similar, so he's not able to make any pendulum plays that he'd like to. I do know his deck likes to summon cards like Cleeful Genius, Electromite, Bahamut Shark to summon Totally Awesome. It summons Cyberdrag Nova, Cyberdrag Infinity, and all these toolbox cards which can negate your opponent's plays.
And I also just saw a Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit in his hand. I'm not sure how much that comes up against the Altergeist. I think you can hit one of the continuous traps like Personal Spoofing if he has it.
I do believe it's very good when you hit Protocol with it.
Oh, of course. Yeah, but it's already face up on the
Because
field.
they're trying to tribute off one of their guys, and then you ogre the trap, and now you got a 2-for-1.
Very good. And then your monsters can negate their effects again as well.
I think what Liam has going for him is that his monster did survive the turn, and he did draw Pot of Desires, which is really good.
Really good draw, and I don't think Leo has an Ash Blossom or any way to out that either, so that's a very good draw for Liam Andrews playing his Dynamist strategy.
With his monster staying on the field, he can use a normal summon to be able to make Electromite, so he can access more cards from his deck.
So he's activating Personal Spoofing, and then in a new chain link, activating Multi-Faker's effect to summon itself.
And then Multi-Faker summons in defense position. He will use its effect to be able to summon another Altergeist from his deck in face-up defense position.
Would he go for Secloidus here?
I believe so. Because he has a spoofing, he can access the Meluseek and Marinetta whenever he needs to, so he's going to summon Silcoidus for Disruption.
So pretty good opening here for Leo, especially going second and not having much to go through as well. And here we go, the Pot of Desires hits the table. Is it a neg 9? Is it a draw 2? Who knows?
I think its value just depends on the situation at the time. Sometimes you might draw 2, but they might not be cards that you necessarily want to see.
But any card that says draw 2 is normally good.
Yeah.
Oh, and Solemn Judgment comes
that's
down on the Pot of
huge.
Desires. The second or third time we've seen Solemn Judgment used this weekend, and Monster Reborn as well was used a lot this weekend.
And Liam did banish 8 monsters. 2 of them were Ash Blossoms, but he did lose a lot of monsters. But he does play 26 of them, so that's what you would expect from a deck with that ratio.
He's looking at his face down monster here, potentially going to flip a face up, which he does.
That's a Plesios, I believe.
That's the one that makes all monsters in your opponent's field lose some sort of attack points, I believe.
Yeah, all face-up monsters lose 100 attack defense for each Dynamist card he controls, which is 1. Pendulum effect is you can negate an activated card effect that targets a Dynamis card you control, but then you have to destroy it. It's a level 4 water monster, so it can make a Bahamut Shark, but due to Master Rule 4, he will need to have a Link monster to be able to use Bahamut Shark's effect to summon Totally Awesome.
Of course, and I think that's where Electromite comes in this deck.
Yeah, cards like Electromite and Cleafort Genius. Cleafort Genius does synergize with the deck because he will be able to Pendulum summon 2 monsters and trigger its effect to search a monster.
So we see the Plesiosaurs attacking the Secludus to force its effect, but then Leo quickly putting down the Konkori to negate that attack and then negate the effect of the Plesiosaurs as well.
If he so chooses to. Now
Very
Leo,
carefully deciding his zone here.
Yep. It's very important because cards like Altergeist Hextia does gain attack points for whatever it points to, so you do want to choose your zones carefully. Yes, to keep in mind infinite impermanence also factors in zones. And Liam does indeed play infinite impermanent.
So he's gone to negate the attack and then negate the effect. And now the Ghost Ogre is coming down on the Konkori, in which Leo is now chaining the spoofing to put it back to deck and add a card. Very well played by both players there. Heads up play by Leo to be able to resolve that effect and now get another card.
Again, Liam is from New South Wales, again, a player who we suppose has home ground advantage. Leo has come from Melbourne. And I guess we keep seeing this Sydney versus Melbourne rivalry.
Not much Queensland going on anymore. We had a few earlier on, but not at the moment. There is some in there in the top card. Also, Western Australia's got a lot of representatives up there, which we may see later on.
Yeah, I guess Sydney would have a lot of representation because this event is held in Sydney, so
course,
we didn't have to travel.
I'm sure if we had a graph for that, that would actually be able to see a massive representation from Sydney players.
Indeed.
Or New South Wales players, sorry.
That's another level 4. That's Ankylos
And
that he was reading.
That the effect that...
It's banish any monster destroyed by battle with a Dynamis monster you control. It's got 1500 attack and a huge 2000 defense.
So I think what would he look for here? Probably an Electromite play to try and get a draw?
Electromite play, it could be... well,
Leo quickly identifies that and decides to resolve his Secludus effect, returning it back to the hand.
Yes. He does pass turn without many plays. Leo is going to decide if he wants to use the spoofing or not.
He already has. I chained
he?
it to when the Konkuri got Ghost Ogred, so he got a Marionetta off its effect.
Did he? Oh.
Yes.
And
so, a lot of monsters in Leo's hand, which normally isn't good for older guys, but in this situation, it lets him advance his game state by using Marionettas effective. He chooses to summon that.
It's an unfortunate opening for Liam. I guess the tables have turned so that the right side has gotten the luck again.
Yeah, I think it's balanced out a lot since the draw.
I guess that's a variance, man. Like everything just adds up in the end.
Alright, so now 2 set cards now, one being a manifestation for Leo.
And I'd assume that he already has a protocol if he's chose to set manifestation.
So how big is Plesios's attack?
Ooh, that's another spit. Plesios is 1700 attack. It has an attack reduction effect, so all of Leo's monsters are reduced by 100 attack points.
So I guess the good thing for Liam here is that he does have the biggest monster on the field.
Yeah.
But with a lot of monsters on Leo's field, he's probably going to look for some extra deck plays, which he does play 2 copies of Hexia, which is one less than the normal. He also has the other Altergeist card, Primashan, Banshee, Wee Witch Apprentice, Alistair, the Invoker of Madness. But most of the time I think they just go for Hexia here and then be able to boost the effect if he summons it under the Link Rebo. Interesting as well that he also plays Warrior of Another Planet in Naturix area, which would suggest he side decks Waking the Dragon.
Yep. Raid Raptor, Ultimate Falcon. Hey, they both play Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon in their extra deck.
Do you reckon there's any way that comes up, considering Liam is playing a machine-based deck?
Ooh,
Although I'm pretty sure you can't send him to the graveyard to summon Chimera Tech, if I remember correctly, from Clifford format.
However, Leo does not have Cyber Dragon on his list. So
maybe he just wants to summon it at 0 if he's Waking the Dragon effect.
Oh, I suppose he's preparing for the Cyber Dragon matchup, which there were a lot of day one.
And it is quite hard for Altergeist to deal with that deck, actually, because they have a lot of strong monsters in Cyber Dragon, especially with all the new support cards, letting that deck do more plays and access their fusions better.
Yep.
So he's making, is that the...
Prime Banshee.
It's the Banshee.
Doesn't have much attack, but is a quick effect where he can tribute one of his Altergeist monsters and special summon another one from his deck in the zone that it points to.
Very interesting choice here.
I'm surprised he didn't go Hextia into a second Hextia for more attack points. But perhaps he thinks he doesn't need the attack power right now. He wants to just gain advantage using the Prime Banshee.
Does Banshee gain any attack? Or to be able to attack over the Plesios?
No, it doesn't. And its effect to summon is, although it's a quick effect, can only be used in the main phase.
Very interesting. So he did make a Hextier and link it away. So maybe he's going to bring the Hextier back with the Marionette's effect.
Ooh.
So this is how he's planning to get around it.
Yeah. Oh, and that gives his Hextier 21 extra attack, putting on 3600 attack, which is how the deck attacks over Ultimate Falcon in the mirror.
So he's explaining now that it gains attack, and he's going to be able to attack over this Plesios now.
But it loses the 100 attack from Plesios' effect, so it's only on 3500 at the time for 1800 damage, I believe.
And that Plesios should be going to the extra deck face up, but I'm sure they'll sort that out really soon.
Yeah. It is a pendulum monster, the mechanics. Yep,
he's figured it out now.
Yeah.
Liam just trying to decide where he wants to put this Plesios.
I don't think on top of the main deck is where you want it.
Probably not, especially face up. So a lot of damage coming through here. So Leo is probably going to level it out a bit. After his Solemn Judgment, he took 4,000 life points, so he's still slightly behind.
You got that Link Karibo pushing in for 300 damage.
Massive damage, Link Karibo.
Hey, 300 damage could be the difference between winning and losing. And
very true.
Yeah. You got to count every bit. Sometimes you're just short by that much and wish you attacked earlier or something.
All things to consider
Yep.
throughout the game. But Leo obviously in a commanding position now with his Altergeist deck. He's got one set, 2 personal spoofings on the field, 3 Link monsters on the field, which is something you don't often see with Altergeist, with the deck mainly around the main deck monsters.
Yep.
He's got some cards in hand as well. I think he has a Milliseek and maybe another Multi-Faker, actually.
Yep.
So he's in a really good position. And unfortunately for Liam, he hasn't not been able to get his Dynamis engine going as well as he would have liked.
Yep.
This is why we play best of 3.
Between Hextia and Manifestation, Liam won't be able to activate many spells because Hextia can negate.
And that includes Pendulum Scales, I believe.
Yeah.
So he has Protocol in hand with Multi-Faker and Milliseek.
I'm not sure. I think Hextia was not once per turn, right?
I believe Hextia is not hard once per turn, but the one Hextia can activate once per turn.
Only the search effect of Hextia is once per turn. So as long as you have a monster to tribute, Hextia can keep negating spells, which is why that manifestation is huge. And he's activating one now.
He's using it first instead.
Oh, so he's not going to be using it to be able to continuously tribute monsters to Hexia negate spells. But he does chain spoofing to manifestation and shuffle it back. Now the manifestation won't be attached to Sequoias, but it will still be summoned from the graveyard.
So he's got the Conqueri back to hand, which would will be able to stop Liam from attacking over any of his monsters, so the Sequoias will be safe. He's still got the Protocol set and a Multi-Faker in hand. So that's probably how he's going to get something next to the Hextia after he uses the effect, which, he has drawn the Dynamis, I think, Calling, I believe it is, the search spell.
That is Dynamis Charge?
Dynamis Charge.
That's the one.
And I believe it does search a Dynamis from the deck.
Yeah, when it's activated, he can add a Dynamis monster from his deck to his hand, and once per turn, if a Dynamis card is added from his field to his extra deck, he can add one of those to the hand.
So once Leo read the card, he realized he will probably negate it, so he's using Hexia's effect to negate. And now he's activating the Prime Banshee's effect to, I believe, summon one back or add one back to hand.
Tributing one to summon one to... Sorry, what?
No. When it gets sent to
add from the graveyard to the hand.
Yep. And now he's activating Protocol, and he will then in a new chain link, I believe... Oh, no. So Liam has decided he's seen enough.
He wants to preserve time in case it comes up later. He might need the time against Altergeist, which does attempt to slow the game down to a pace, unlike Thunder Dragon, where any opening they have, they'll try and game shot you.
So looking to the side decks now, if Liam's deciding to go first, what are we looking at for his side deck?
He has 3 Ghost Reaper and Winter Cherries, 3 Thunder Drag. Oh, 3 Thunder Drag.
3 Thunder Dragons. So like we saw in the other Pendulum deck, maybe he is using that strategy against certain decks.
Yeah, I can see that he does play Colossus in his extra deck. I think he's just citing the Thunder Dragons for when he goes first, so he can summon those easily. I don't see you having that card going second because it's not really a card you want to be able to play into their set spells and traps or their monsters.
And if he is going first this game against Altergeist, would it be worth bringing in?
Yeah, I guess so. Because not entirely sure. The only search effect that Altergeist have Meluseek, right?
And Meluseek can actually send the Colossus to the graveyard.
Yeah, exactly.
So maybe it's counterintuitive.
So
he also has Cyber Dragon, Evenly Matched, and Hatrune, which seem to be a lot of going second cards in that deck. Maybe going first, he just wants to his deck the way it is, go for the strategy, and just open as well as he can, which hopefully this game is the case.
He does have a Chimera Tech Mega Fleet Dragon in his extra deck. Cyber Dragon might have value. It can send the Link Karibo to the graveyard. It can send Hextears to the graveyard to summon.
Very true. Now looking to Leo's side deck. So City going second. He has a few cards in here. Well, he has a Super Polymerization, which may or may not come in. 3 copies of Waking the Dragon, which will probably be for when he goes first against certain decks.
Yep.
He has 2 Wiretap, which I think will be for the mirror. 3 Dynamist Prank Tops, probably the most popular card in the side decks we've seen this weekend. 3 copies of Artifact Lancier and 3 Evenly Matched. I think Evenly Matched is definitely a big option here for
Yeah,
Leo.
it's very powerful against Pendulum cards, as Pendulum scales do take up zones, but they do not usually have active effects which are helping you. So Evenly Matched does clear the board for you.
I'm just seeing now he's putting 3 copies of Prank Tops and 3 copies of Evenly Matched straight into the deck.
Yep.
Taking out the Secret Village engine by the looks of it, and Rivalry of the Warlords, since obviously Liam's deck is a lot of machines.
Oh, I guess there are Psychics as well, you know. You have the Ghost Ogre, and you have the Ash Blossom.
Sure, and also the extra deck, he can't make Electromite if he gets Rivalry. So maybe Leo's thinking that's not as much value as an Evenly Matched or a Prank Tops going second.
Definitely not. Prank Tops being very amazing going second. It can hit off a monster and then hit off a scale or something.
Very powerful card. And we've seen it, like I said, we've seen it a lot this weekend.
It's good to see both players are actually having fun. They're enjoying themselves. That's the most important part. Like
Mm.
Bowden said yesterday, if you're not finding yourself have fun, then you won't perform as well as you'd like to. If you're having fun, then your performance might not be as important to you. You might just have a lesson or something that will motivate you to keep playing. But I think you should have fun while you're playing this game.
Of course, and that's what a lot of the answers came back to when we interviewed some players yesterday. They just enjoy being here, seeing all their friends again. Some people from different states, they get to meet up.
Yep.
And even some of the players from overseas, they have friends over here as well, and they're coming down and seeing everyone. So that's really good for the game.
Yep.
Especially here in Australia. So we're going to see the start of game 2 now.
Yep.
I believe Liam will want to go first, and he's I think gesturing that now.
Yep.
Leo's just confirming.
Yep.
A lot of
throwing
Dynamists. Oh,
he
he did put
does
the Thunder
bring
Dragon
the Thunder
in.
Dragon in. Wow.
And Pot of Desires as well. And there can't be a Solemn Judgment this time. In Leo's hand, I do see the Evenly Matched and the Prank Tops and Infinite Impermanence.
Oh, that's going to be huge for Leo.
If he has Multi-Faker as well, which there's 3 monsters, so it's a high chance. Well, one's Prank Tops, obviously.
Double checking that there are 10 cards banished. We don't want any procedural errors, especially not this late in the tournament.
May also be taking it slow to counter to maybe gesture that he might have an Ash Blossom to maybe scale Leo slightly.
There's like 6 monsters in the banish pile. Something you'd expect from a deck that plays 26 monsters. He draws into the Howling, sorry, and another monster.
Something very interesting that I just saw in the Desires banish there was the other 2 copies of Thunder Dragon.
Oh,
So that makes it very awkward from here.
perhaps he would have used the Thunder Dragon first to be able to thin his deck as well. Maybe that's an oversight by him.
He may have wanted to draw some cards first to see if that's what he wanted to go with the play, but it's unfortunate that he did banish both. That's very unlikely, but it does happen.
It happens. It's not
So I think this is the one that special summons itself when you control another Dynamist monster and no other monsters.
Yes, you can. That is Dynamis Ceratops. If all monsters you control are Dynamis monsters and none are Dynamis Ceratops, you can special summon it from your hand.
So he's setting a trap card and ending his turn.
I believe that's the Howling, right?
He doesn't believe he wants to go any further than this, and unfortunately the Evenly Matched is in Leo's hand. But first he is special summoning the Prank Tops as his opponent controls more monsters than he does. And it is at 2600 attack, so maybe he wants to just commit as less to the board as possible.
Yep.
And he also has the Milliseek, so he can just probably pick apart this board as he likes.
The other monster on Liam's field is the Dynamis Terran. When this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can add a Dynamis card from your deck to your hand. It's a way for them to gather advantage. He just opted to not go for a Pendulum play. I believe he might. His approach is probably to just stick a few monsters for now, use the trap card to be able to gain more advantage. The trap card being, when it's activated, he can place 1 or 2 Dynamis Pendulum monsters from his deck to his Pendulum Zone, but he can't Pendulum summon until the end of the next turn.
So unfortunately, Leo's attacked directly with Milliseek here and is activating the effect to send the Howling to the graveyard, and Liam tried to activate it, not realizing that he has to do it before that happens, because Milliseek is resolving during the damage step. So Prank Tops is now going to attack over. Which one was that? The Ceratops?
As the Ceratops.
And then he may or may not use the effect to destroy the Terran as well. He may just keep it on the board to have pressure since he has infinite impermanence in his hand.
Is that a second copy of Milliseek in his hand?
I think it's a Marionetta.
That's a water monster, I think.
I definitely saw a Marionetta in his hand at least, so if that's his only monster.
Could be wrong.
But he's probably going to add Multi-Faker here once he links away his Milliseek for a Linkaribo. So he has a lot of trap cards in hand, so this multi-faker will be good, but the Ash Blossom comes down to stop that combo. So there will be no multi-faker this time around for Leo.
Oh, that is a Marionetta. So
So
Marionetta Impermanence.
Lost wins.
Evenly matched. He's going to set 2, so now he has 2 ways to negate monster effects.
And the Prank Tops is still a lot of pressure on the field. So yeah, Leo's passing, but he's also gesturing that card in the middle is...
Indeed in the middle.
So that may or may not clue Leo on that it's in the Infinite Impermanence, so it has the chance to negate in the same column.
Yeah, this is what I like to see people playing with correct zones, people trying to maintain the integrity of the game state. Which one? That is Dynamis Brachion. If you do not control a Dynamis Brachion and your opponent controls a monster that has the highest attack on the field, you can special summon it from your hand.
Oh, so Leo leaving that Prank Tops on the field has actually helped Liam here.
Yeah.
Able to summon his Brachion to the field.
Well,
Now, is there an extra deck option here he would like to take with maybe Electromite?
I think.
Or is it too risky with the Prank Tops still being on the field?
Yeah, I think he wants to try to clear off some monsters before he commits to any further plays. And he just passes. I don't think Liam's been able to draw a hand that he would like to play.
Another copy of Evenly Matched added to Leo's hand from drawing for turn. But he's now activating his Marionetta effect, so he's going to get even more trap cards in his set spell and trap card zone. He's probably going to consider which one. Liam staying calm in this situation. He's got 2 monsters on the field, looking good.
I think he's a little frustrated with that head shake.
Of course.
I completely understand. He didn't draw a hand he would like to be able to play his deck. He's pretty high up. He's stressed. He needs that. He needs to win out one more round to guarantee top cut. And with this looking grim, he now has to make sure he has a right game plan to try and win out this one, and he'll be more relaxed for the next round.
Of course. Takes just 1 draw though, as we saw yesterday with a few of our games. You just sustain the game as long as you can. Any draw could get you back into it, and that has happened more than once so far on this feature match table.
Yeah.
So he's attacking with the Dino Wrestler Prank Tops.
He has come this far. He's come 7-1. He obviously knows what he's doing with
of course.
Dynamist. He's well versed. I think he will win a lot of his matches because his opponents don't know what his strategy involves. And yeah.
Prank Tops is putting in a lot of work here for Leo.
Yeah, it's got 2600 monster it's got 2600 attack, and you don't have to normal summon it. It just applies a lot of pressure against these decks.
And it's definitely showing now why it's in almost everyone's side deck here that's played on the feature match this weekend. I think it's all but 2 or 3.
Yeah.
So he's now sending the Marionette to the graveyard to get Melisseek back to the field. So he's going to try this combo again of maybe using Link River's effect and then be able to get a multi-faker.
Yes, I do believe that.
And unfortunately for Liam, he does not have the Ash Blossom this time, so he will not be able to negate the effect.
Liam constantly looking at the Thunder Dragon in his hand. Maybe he's like, maybe if he could play this match again, he would have, reconsidered his options. Maybe he thought the 2 draws would have been better than the Thunder Dragon searches.
Well, you see Pot of Desires in your hand, you're like, yep, got to draw 2 cards. So, of course, he knows what he's doing. He's played this deck all weekend, so he obviously had a game plan there. Like I said, it's quite unlucky to banish both copies. Another Dynamist card added to the hand. I think that is Plesios again.
Yeah.
So a scale now coming down.
Leo does have access to trap cards and the multi-faker in his hand, so he'll be able to stop an Electromite play, though.
He also still has that Prank Tops, putting a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
At any point, it could just destroy something on the field, destroy a monster, destroy a pendulum scale. Leo just confirming something now to make sure the text of the card.
Yeah. Especially late in the round, you want to make sure you know what everything does, what the function of every card does. You don't want to leave any stone unturned. You want to be able to know everything so you don't make a misplay, something that will get you later on. It might have a graveyard effect, it might have a protection effect. You just don't want to make these simple mistakes that could be avoided.
So he's putting the scale, so it makes me think that it must be one with a scale effect that saves from destruction or targeting.
I'm going to look that up. Sorry, I cannot see that.
It's the super rare.
It's got a short name.
I think it's Rex. Dynamis Rex.
It is indeed. So it's scale effect. Once while it's in your pendulum zone, you can negate an activated card that targets another Dynamist card you control, and then destroy this card. Monster effect is that if it attacks, you contribute a Dynamist monster, and then activate one of these effects. And the first effect being it can attack another monster again with piercing damage, or you can shuffle 1 card from your opponent's hand or field into their deck.
So we see the protocol coming down here from Leo and the multi-faker being activated, which will give him access to Cycloidus. So with the wording on Rex, does that mean that Protocol will negate Seclordus from being negated from Rex? Or
Uh,
does Rex simply just destroy itself to save the monster from
it
being
just
targeted?
negates an activated card effect.
So,
So
which is exactly what Protocol says it stops from happening.
yeah. Also, Rex cannot protect itself, so he could also just use Pancratops to destroy the Rex.
So in the damage step, I believe he's going to use the Link Rebo effect. The Plesios will be...
Now attacking the Plesios is the one that which has the attack reduction effect,
So
right?
now there's three Dynamis cards on the field. All his Leo's monsters will be losing 300 attack. So Seclordus is activating now, returning the Multi-Faker to the hand, and targeting the Plesios. So can he now put the Plesios in the scale and Pendulum Summon, or is the scale not line up? I don't think it must not line up if he's now ending his turn.
It's unfortunate they are both 6 scales.
So we're still yet to see a Pendulum Summon yet. It just shows how unfortunate Liam's hands have been. They haven't been ideal for what he would want.
The Terran on the field is a 3 scale though, so had some draws been different, everything could have changed.
So the Lost Man targeting his own monster here from Leo, probably just to trigger the Multi-Faker effect that he added back to his hand. Just confirming that he can do that.
Confirming that you can use Lost Win on your own monster, it's got thumbs up.
So Multi-Faker will come down, possibly to summon a Meluseek, I believe, or a Marionetta to bring back the Meluseek.
I think he will go through Meluseek and make some link plays to get just accumulate more advantage using Meluseek's effect.
And that that Dino Wrestler prank job's still on the field.
Yeah, putting in so much work.
He just doesn't want to use its effect. Doesn't need to. 2600 monster. It's probably the biggest monster he'll be able to summon from the main deck.
Yeah.
Obviously for Altergeist.
You remember how much impact Cyber Dragon had on the game when it was released? 2100 attack monster that you didn't have to normal summon. Now you have a 2600 attack monster that you don't have to normal summon.
And can destroy cards.
Yeah. I think Pancratops is really well designed. It's fair. It fits in every deck. It fits a lot of like holes that you want to fill in your deck building. It covers a lot of matchups. It just does a lot of things.
And it's also played at 3, and every deck can play it. So it's fair that both players have access to it, and it depends that turn 1 it's not the best card. You can't just summon on your turn unless you can somehow give your opponent more monsters than you on your first turn.
Yeah, definitely. And it speaking of accessibility, it's a common card, so that people it's not a card like Infinite Impermanence where you'll have to really think about if you want to be able to have access to that card.
So the Meluseek getting brought back here from the Marionette's effect, sending Protocol to the graveyard. Leo's still staring at those 2 copies of Evenly Matched in his hand, and obviously will not be able to resolve them at the current time with so many more monsters on the field than his opponent.
I'd like to think that if I have Impermanence evenly matched in my hand that I cannot use, I'm in a pretty good position.
This is very true. He's still got the Impermanence set as well. And Liam decides that this is enough and that the game will not go further. It may have even been game on board because the Pranktops having a lot of attack points, but unfortunate for Liam there. His deck is very interesting, playing Dynamist, and he's still sitting at 7 wins and 2 losses, so still a chance to make the top 32.
Yeah. I think Liam is about to reveal that he has a Thunder Dragon in his hand and he banished 2 Thunder Dragons from his desires, and now he's like, oh no.
He's having a good laugh about it, so at least he's enjoying himself, and both players playing with respect for each other and respect for the game.
Yep. I think he really loves Dynamist. That's why he brought it to the YCS. He piloted it well. He was 7-1. Now he's 7-2. He's going into the last round. If he wins it, he's guaranteed a place in the top cut. And yeah, I do hope for him to do well so we can have a Dynamist in the top cut. And yeah, I think that will create a lot of hype. One thing that I really enjoyed about the weekend and these feature matches is that we've seen a lot of players just play decks that they really enjoy playing, that they're really good at playing, and they've been able to see successes with it. And most of all, they're having fun with it, as opposed to being like shoehorned into playing a deck which they've been told is good. They've been able to make that decision for themselves.
Yep. And I think the best thing about that and the reason that this happens is like when you have a format with so many different decks, it means that every deck can actually potentially compete.
Yeah.
And like with a tier 0 format, like you're basically playing one deck and then the deck that beats that deck and then maybe a different deck. So it's a bit harder for that, which again, those formats have the ups and downs as well, like a lot of positives.
Yeah.
But yeah, formats like this just give opportunities to decks like Dynamist and Noble Knights like we saw yesterday and other stuff and Prank Kids even.
Yeah.
To just compete, and when the player likes the deck and they know it very well, it shows.
Yeah. Yeah, so we do wish both of them the best of luck. I think Leo is now guaranteed into top cut.
I would believe so at
Whether
this point.
he wins or loses, he's comfortable. Liam, we wish him the best of luck for the last round. We will bring Leo in for a post-match interview, and yeah, shortly.
we're back apparently.
Hey. Uh, so what are you excited to see in the top cut?
Looking at the matchup so far, there's a lot of Ultra guys still up there, and with Leo being one of them as well. But yeah, I'm excited to see the matchup between the three best decks.
Yeah.
The three decks that we've seen all the way through being the most represented, and
Yeah.
how they match up and how they have been matching up. Because
Yeah.
we had seen a few of them versus
Mm.
each other so far.
Yeah.
But obviously, beginning to the pointy end, it'll be more interesting.
Yeah.
Still a bit of lights on in there, but yeah, I think we have Leo coming in now for an interview.
Yeah.
So
See you
Pretty good.
shortly.
welcome back to YCS Sydney 2019. We have the post-match interview for round 9. Here with Leo Chen,
Yeah.
I believe it is that you'd
Yeah.
like to be called.
Yeah.
Playing your Ultra guys deck with victorious there. What did you think when your opponent was playing Dino Mist? What did you expect?
I feel so surprising because it's a day 2 and then it's the run I play with the Dynamist is so surprising to me here.
You're impressed though that
Yeah,
he
yeah.
was going so far.
Yeah.
So you obviously played Ultra guys.
Yeah.
What was your decision to play Ultra guys? Why did you decide this was the deck for you?
Previously I tried to play the Go Cadet, but it's very hard to play with the Thunder Dragon, and then I choose to play with the other guys. The other guys is a control that, but in this format, this format is a triangle format, so
Yes.
which means the other guys can beat the Thunder Dragon easier. It's not the type. It's the Danger Thunder Dragon. That's a very strong deck. And the Thunder Dragon can beat the Sky Striker. And when I play with the Sky Striker, that's the very weakness matchup for me. So
Yes.
in this triangle format, I trying to keep more advantage from such as the Secret Village and Metaverse and Imperial Order to beat the
course,
Sky
yes.
Striker. Yeah,
Yeah, so we saw
that's
that
what I
in there.
think.
Yeah, and we've obviously seen throughout the weekend that the top 3 decks have dominated up the top of the order, and they were the most represented decks as well.
Yes.
So coming into that, we'll see a lot more of those matchups coming up leading into Top Cut, which I think
Yes.
now you should be definitely in the Top Cut with one more round to play.
Yeah.
It's most likely confirmed.
Mm.
So we see other cards in here, like you mentioned the Secret Village of the Spellcasters and 1 copy of Metaverse. I believe that's just so you don't see multiple copies, or you thought that was the correct ratio?
I try to multiple copies of the Metaverse, but that is the very awful top deck you draw.
Yes.
Because from my build, you know I don't play any Desire, so
Yes.
if I play the multiple copy of the Metaverse, it's not good for me. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that's-
not good for my top deck.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
The other interesting card we saw in your main deck was 3 copies of Lost Wind. Previously saw that in Paleo back a few years ago, or a couple of years ago, and Paleo was actually on stream playing Lost Wind as well. What was your decision to play Lost Wind?
For the free advantage from the Lost Wind, the first one, for example, if I phrase the evenly, if I use the Marosic to make the Linkable and the Search Breaker, and then set the Lost Wind and another trap card past. If my opponent use the Go Second build, such as the Go Second Sky Striker,
Yep.
He may be used the evenly. So in the battle phase, I can just declare at the beginning of the battle phase, I use my Lost Wind to target my Linkable. So if you have multiple copy of the Lost Wind, you can use the training 1 target Linkable and training 2 target Linkable, and then 2 copies of the Lost Wind drop to the graveyard.
So
And
they're
then
safe from evenly
yes,
match, essentially.
safer from evenly
Yeah.
match is the first advantage. Another is about the Twin Twister. although they use the twin twister for my Bracco, but if the car he destroys the Roswing, I also can come back this first trap car.
Of course,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's some other interesting cards in here. You just want to play 2 Hextier instead of 3. I think that would have been to make space for your Waking the Dragon targets, as you
Yeah,
see.
yes,
And then also another, the Dino-Risk Prankotops has been most side decks over the weekend, as we've seen.
yes.
Very powerful card, obviously showed then on stream.
Mm.
And the other one is you play Chimeric Fortress Dragon without Cyber Dragon. Were you expecting to verse Cyber Dragons potentially this weekend?
Yeah, I'm just because the space in my extra deck is wild, and then I try to if I face some Cyber Dragon and then they go first, so I can face them. Yeah,
Yes, of course.
by their monsters.
Yeah, we thought that, and we're just making
Yeah.
sure. Very good. So based on all the information, like the top 3 decks, the Thunder
Yeah.
Dragon and
Yeah.
Sky Striker and Altergeist, what deck do you think will win the event?
Um,
You think
I
Altergeist is the correct choice?
I SO the first day, but in my day 2, the first round, I play with the Danger Furniture Dragon. That is amazing.
Is that Jesse Collins?
Yeah,
deck?
just
yeah,
Collins, yeah. For his that, I think the system is amazing. Even you use your Lancia for your turn, he can use the snow for at the end of my turn, and then get all the resources.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very powerful deck. We've seen it on
Very
stream a
powerful
couple of
deck.
times, and yeah, so
Yes.
that could be a deck that's a really big contender.
Yes.
So thank you very much. Congratulations.
Yeah.
We hope to see you in the top cut
Yeah.
further in, and good luck for your next round.
Yeah,
So
thank you.
With either fix X1, X2.
Yeah.
At this moment, it probably doesn't matter as much, but
Yes.
you'd like to finish higher up.
Mm.
But yeah, so good luck and congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you.